OK, it's my favourite time of the day.
It's mine too, actually. I know you can't. Well, I'm kind of worried about this next segment.
So am I. So let's crack on with it. Now, as I say, that time of day again, my favourite time, because this is where I try and bring you a bit of good news. This first story involves a journalist who was on his way to report on the disappearance of a toddler. Well, he's miraculously found the child just a few miles from the boy's home. The 21-month-old boy went missing from his bedroom in a town northeast of Florence in Italy. The child's parents told investigators that their son, Nicola, was put to bed at about 7 o'clock one night, didn't realise he'd gone missing until midnight. But it's believed he just wandered out of the house during the night. Well, after raising the alarm, 1,000 emergency personnel, volunteers and police began scouring the wooded areas around the boy's home. One journalist, Giuseppe Di Tommaso, a reporter with the Italian broadcaster Rai, was on his way to Nicholas's home when he heard moans coming from a gorge by a road. He told police, who then found the youngster 50 feet down a ravine. The boy was rescued. He was helicoptered to hospital, where there was an emotional reunion with his mother. So journalists sometimes are good.
I think journalists are very often good. We get a bad rep for no reason.
Fair enough. Now, this wasn't... I like our little chats.
I do too.
Now, this wasn't perhaps the sort of encounter the Pope was expecting, but he found himself face-to-face with Spiderman during a general audience at the Vatican. Surrounded by people dressed in their best church attire, the man behind the mask was, in fact, Mattia Velardita, who's founder of the Superheroes of the Ward project. Now, that sends volunteers to visit children in hospital dressed up as comic book heroes. Well, after his address to the crowd, the pontiff made a beeline for the hero, grasping his hands and exchanging a few words as he was gifted his very own Spider-Man mask.
That's fantastic.
Bit of good news from the Vatican.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy with that one?
I love that.
Right. Now, how would you feel driving around on an inflatable bike? Researchers from the University of Tokyo have unveiled this inflatable functional scooter to get you to your destination while being surprisingly portable. It's called a Poimo, that's short for Portable and Inflatable Mobility. It's said to be the first soft mobility personal transportation device, allowing its users to compress its soft, lightweight components and carry the whole vehicle around in a little bag. It's made of high-quality thermoplastic urethane and weighs just 17 pounds. They're also working on other things like wheelchairs and other mobility things that you just blow up.
You know, I had a nail in my tyre the other day and it cost an arm and a leg to get it replaced. And I think if you had a whole inflatable vehicle, I mean, you wouldn't want to run over a nail on that, would you? Whole thing. Like, not just a wheel, but the whole.
And if you're a pedestrian who just hates them, you'd just be there with a pen.
Yeah, right. Right, yeah.
There's always a downside.
I keep hitting you today,
if there's a downside, you're going to find it, and you have. Right. Now, we've all heard that being stressed gives you grey hair. Well, now scientists have actually confirmed it. And they say it is actually reversible. All you have to do, they say, is eliminate all the stress from your life. That's why I'm going to be staying grey for a while longer. This is researchers at Columbia University's Bagelos College of Physicians and Surgeons. They measured subtle variations of colour and pigmentation. They took samples from 14 volunteers, not a huge survey, looked at them through a high-resolution scanner, and the samples were then compared to stress diaries, in which each participant was asked to review and rate their levels of stress each week. There was a direct correlation, with the report author saying that one individual went on vacation and 5 hairs on his head went back from being grey to being dark during the holiday.
Really?
Proof if you need it.
Wow. Yeah. I think he just used a bit of a Grecian 2000 while he was abroad.
No, these are scientists, all right?
But before, sample size of 14.
OK. Another story she knocks on the head. Right. Try this one. Do spare a thought for officials in Snowdonia National Park, who've been left rather embarrassed after a mistranslation of Welsh saw tourists told it's popular sex area. They put out on social media a post asking if people intended to visit Ogwen Valley in the near future. But Facebook's translation software was apparently confused by one of the words. Is that roo, re? Anyway, when it was used as a standalone word, it means sex. So it read as, are you intending to visit the Ogwen area sex? Now, it's real. It's true, this. The Snowdonia National Park Authority responded online saying, oh dear, seems that the Facebook Translate version has come up with something a bit different to the original Welsh version. Apologies, they said, for any offence caused. Well, Facebook users did see the funny side. One person said there'll be a welcome in the hillsides. Another said, I had no idea that was the expected code of behaviour in that area. I will take note. The third added, I wasn't intending on visiting soon. I am now.
Oh, I love it. I love
we like
punctuation and autocorrect fails. They are the absolute best.
They are.
They are so good.
Now, we love to bring a bit of good news on the job front. In Northern Ireland, the American-owned forklift manufacturer Hyster Yale is creating dozens of jobs in County Armagh following a £5 million expansion of its plant at Craigavon. The company already employs hundreds of people at the 40-acre site, and it's just announced that the new jobs will be officially unveiled along with a 60,000-square-foot new facility. The factory extension will be known as the Sands Building. This is rather nice. It's in honour of a former MD, Harry Sands, who retired last year after 40 years with the company. I put that in because that's rather nice.
I like that.
Somebody
yeah,
works for your company and you name a building after him. I like that.
Yeah.
I wonder what they'll call
Oh, no,
this.
that's good. We know what it'd be called, don't we?
Yeah. Don't know if we want to hear it. Anyway, when 58-year-old Jeff Mix was laid off from his job in Michigan because of coronavirus-related cutbacks, he assumed, as an older worker, finding another job was just going to be impossible. That effectively was going to be it. But his daughter Rebecca had other plans. She knew his dream job would be something involving dealing with the public and keeping him on his feet. In fact, he'd actually set his heart on working at Costco. Well, let's just say that Jeff and computers don't necessarily mix, so it was she who decided to post a few humorous tweets about her dad's really particular job ambitions, and then she says she just forgot about the tweet she'd put out. Well, the messages somehow hit the radar of the Costco CEO, Craig Jelinek, who contacted several store managers close to Jeff's home, requesting that they bring him in for an interview. One of those managers did. They reached out via Facebook to let his daughter know that her tweet had hit the mark, and in rather a big way. He's done his first shift. He's checked in with his daughter to let her know that the job is everything he'd hoped for, and he couldn't have been happier. Hurrah.
Oh, that's nice. It's a good job his daughter wasn't called Sarah.
Sarah Mix.
Ceramics. 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 Ceramics.
Yeah, well, it was a mixed message that she sent out, you see.
It was a mixed message. Yeah. Mixed messaging.
Oh, we're here all week.
I like that. Oh, that's good.
Now, let me tell you that sheep in the Mourne Mountains in Northern Ireland will no longer be getting lost because they've been fitted with GPS trackers. It's actually part of efforts by the National Trust to monitor the landscape following April's devastating wildfires. Now, they lasted for several days. They destroyed around 200 hectares of National Trust land. It is starting to recover, but the charity is trying to ensure that the sheep which graze on its land don't eat too many of the new shoots. It's interesting. It's not because they're trying to keep track of the sheep, they just don't want the land to be destroyed again. The Trust is spending £3,000 on GPS sheep trackers, and they send information which helps farmers to make sure they don't threaten the area's recovery.
I have got something to say on that, actually. Of course I do.
Oh, this is a shock.
Of course I do.
Oh.
No, I mean, if you're a sheep farmer, let me know. But I thought that all sheep had to have the electronic identity tags anyway, but as part of monitoring their movement.
Do they?
I think there was some. It might not be for monitoring movement, but they have to have these sort of, they're called EID pins on their ears. And it's to sort of track. I thought it was to track where they were going to sort of prevent sort of disease spreading or something. I don't know. But anyway, if you are a sheep farmer, let me know because.
But I think you're absolutely right. I don't think you know.
Yeah, I probably don't know. I'm not a sheep farmer. I'm not a shepherdess.
GBNews and GBNews want to hear from farmers if that story is complete. Well, irrelevant. Anyway, as you know, here at GB News, we're not the only ones who like to tell you some of the good stuff that's going on out there. And I want to, at this point, take my hat off to the Daily Mirror, who in their paper today and online, they celebrate people who've gone that extra mile for their community. They're calling it 1,000 Acts of Kindness. They tell the stories of thousands of local heroes and heroines who've made life better for others. They're also giving recognition to the volunteers, fundraisers and Good Samaritans who've carried out hundreds of acts of kindness over the last year. From the hero milkman who saved the lives of two old ladies after noticing they hadn't collected milk, to the four young brothers who've been brightening the lives of everyone around them with simple acts of kindness. They're good news stories, and credit where credit is due to all the team at the Mirror. It's really good to share your enthusiasm for cheering people up a bit.
I love
these
that.
Stories. The great thing is you start reading these stories and you just go, wow, there is so much going on out there that we don't know about. People just doing something that helps others. And, well, you can see from their front page there, a huge thank you to all of them. And inside pages, fantastic stories. I mean, I could have just nicked them all and said that's Simon's good news. The
Simon.
Good old Daily Mirror.
But of course, we could have the Simon. If you have good news stories and know someone in your community that you want to give, a little bit of focus on, to say thank you because they've done something extraordinary. We do want to hear those, very local stories and hear about the heroes of the UK.
There is an email account I can tell you about. It's goodnewsforsimon@gmail.com.
Oh, you've
Good
got
news.
yourself an email account, have you?
goodnewsforsimon@gmail.com, because it's you who are going to tell us these stories. I trawl many places. It takes me hours every morning, as you know. But it would make my life a lot easier if we could just email them directly to goodnewsforsimon@gmail.com. I mean, obviously, we check them out, but let us know if there's a story you'd like. And it can be anything. It can be your local milkman doing something. It'd be a charity event, someone doing something weird to raise money. Just want to hear the stories, because I think we all need to hear.
And, you know, poor old Simon and his trawl. We need to help reverse his grey hair, right?
Yeah. So there's no chance and none. But there we are.